Fantastic set. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Thank you very much indeed. So you've been watching Corvid on Soundcheck from Visual Radio Arts. I'm going to, before I introduce you to the band, a little bit of housework at the back here. Please do like this, share as much as you can, visit Corvid's Facebook page, and obviously you can like them on there as well, but share this as widely as you can so we can get as much coverage for Corvid as we possibly can. Right, let's go and meet the band. So, starting over here,
Hello.
see if I can get this round the right way. So, Andy.
Yes, Andy, yeah.
Excellent, good. I don't need to take the mic over to you.
No.
Let's find out a little bit about you. Where are you from?
I'm from Bath, born and bred.
Okay,
So
that's
local,
fine.
yeah.
And what do you listen to when you're at home? What kind of...
At the moment, I listen to most of my kids' music. Things like Muse.
Yeah.
My son likes Tame Impala and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And my daughter is more into the sort of 70s, the Queen and that kind of... Not the Queen. yeah. So, but me, personally, I grew up listening to Blondie.
Yeah.
And through to Supergrass, through to Verve and Radiohead and 90s Britpop.
Okay, all right. And drummers-wise, who influences you?
Well, Clem Burke was my first influence from Blondie. I loved the way he played, Power Pop King. Seen him a few times live and met him. So it's
and obviously influenced by Keith Moon himself. And,
indeed, absolutely, yeah, indeed, yeah.
A drummer's drummer.
Indeed, yeah.
Right. So moving on, Dieter. When you're at home, relaxing, if you ever do that, what are you listening to?
I'm listening to, at the moment, stuff like the Swans, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sort of quite mellow stuff, but, you know, like to put the old punk rock on sometimes. And just reggae, you know, not reggae.
Okay.
Anything from reggae to Slayer, basically.
Right, well, I was
And
going to say
everything
there's a
in
lot
between.
I didn't know that.
I was going to say there's a lot of crossover there because
Yeah.
obviously a lot of the punks were listening to reggae, you know, back in the day and still do. You know, bands like Ruts DC now have gone for a much more kind of sort of reggae sound. But also, you know, when you say about Slayer, I can hear that in the music. You know, you've got that kind of crossover between sort of punk and there's a bit of metal in there as well, which is... Let's move on to Sean. I'm not trying to leave you out there, Lisa. We'll be back to you in a minute. I'm preparing myself. So, Sean, same to you. What are you listening to when you're at home, apart from Kylie?
I like all types of music, really, but at the moment, I just went to see Big Thief.
Okay.
The other day. And I love the sound of the guitar solos and stuff, just mental.
Right, excellent. And influences-wise, who influences you as a guitarist?
Maybe Neil Young.
Okay.
But just
all right,
I mean, not saying I'm as good as Neil Young, obviously. But I love it. And like the one-note solos, just playing one note over and over.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, I was going to say. I mean, that's a very sort of typical thing within.
Yeah, when you don't know how to play guitar, you just one note.
Get it in there somehow. Yeah. And finally, I was leaving you to the last. Let you cool down a bit, Lisa. What are you listening to when you're at home, when you're relaxing?
I don't really listen to much apart from us. Because we're the best. I grew up on jazz music. My father was a jazz musician. Okay. And my brother was in a band called the Jerks. So I had a childhood listening to trumpet, really.
Right, okay. Well, I was going to say that's a very different thing. But it was interesting when we were outside doing our bits and pieces out through there. Phil said to me, he said, you know, I can hear a bit of Zappa in there as well. And, you know, you've kind of got that bit of humour within that.
I don't know who you mean.
Oh,
one
of the greats.
Unit's dad? Is that who you mean?
Yes, it is absolutely right. Yes, and Dweezils.
But in our music, actually all of the songs, a lot of them, the influences are from literature.
Okay.
So they're not necessarily
so explain a bit more.
So Tarantism, for example, that was a kind of psychosis that went through Italy in the 14th century.
Yeah.
Like hysteria. So a lot of the women would go out and dance in the street, and they would have musicians dancing. So there's lots of literature about that.
That makes a lot of sense with some of the stuff that I've been listening to, where you've kind of got a little bit of that kind of pagan-y type thing going on as well.
Yeah, nice. Have you heard of Master and Marguerite?
No, I haven't. No.
Bulgakov? If you haven't read that book, you need to read that book. It's like, if you don't read that book, it's just the best book. So Corvid is based a little bit on that book.
Okay, all right.
It's amazing stuff.
Well, talking about writing, how do you go about who is responsible for writing the songs, both music? I'm going to come around this side this time, both musically and lyrically. So how do you go about writing?
Yeah. So what happens is, like, I get an idea. Like I said, often it's from literature or something that's happened to me.
Yeah.
Murmuration was, I was seeing this polyamorous sex worker guy, and he took me in his car in the middle of the dark and said he was going to take me to see the Murmuration. So that's kind of where the lyrics come from. So I get an idea,
right,
and then I go to this lot and I go, our new song goes like this, and they all go.
Yeah, we have to interpret that.
Yeah, right. Sometimes I put.
And is that an easy
GarageBand.
job?
No, it's not really. No, it's interesting. We get there eventually. So,
but they're all brilliant. So it's like that's why it works, because they're all.
So
really
it's just a bit of a collaboration. You've got an idea, you come in, and then
me.
you work it all through.
It's all me.
I was going to say, I can hear them in the background there. Right, so you've not got anything recorded at the moment, but you're in the process of doing
We
that?
have, yeah. We've got 3 songs we just recorded at Stage 2 Studios in Bath, who are brilliant. And we're just, Sean is the technology guy. So we're going to put that. We've got SoundCloud, we've got Facebook page. So
I was going to come on
people
to
want
the.
to look
I was
us
going to
up,
say I was
yeah.
going to come on to that. So that makes a nice little link. So yeah, so you can be seen on your Facebook page,
Yep.
obviously just under Corvid, SoundCloud.
I think it's I Am Corvid, actually, because there's a folk band in Cornwall who will be really cross because we've stolen their name.
That's why the music I was
think
listening
we
to.
are.
I thought, no, it doesn't sound like the Corvid I've been.
Corvid.
No.
Well, we didn't steal their name, actually. But just because I'm watching. But no, so I think you have to put I Am Corvid to get onto our...
No, you can get onto it just straight with Corvid.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
Oh, you've
yeah,
looked. Oh,
yeah.
right. Yeah. Oh, you did look.
Of course I did. Every time. So you've got a SoundCloud page as well.
Yep.
Can the new songs be heard on that?
When we get
when we
home.
put them on.
Oh, right, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
so
we
when,
need to just-
when are you going to actually release it?
We're waiting for them to be mastered, so hopefully a few weeks, not months, but we're kind of waiting for them to be finished. Yeah.
Cool, excellent. Let's just talk a little bit about gigs as well, gigs that you've done and what you've got coming up and where people can expect to see you. So,
The next gig's on the 6th of March in Yeovil railway station.
oh, okay.
It's no longer a railway station, I've been told. But,
Okay.
That's what they told
That's
us
the
when they
only-
booked us.
that's the only gig we've got actually booked in.
Right.
Don't say that. We've
the
got
moment.
hundreds of
Okay,
gigs.
no, that's
but
fine. That's fine. I was going to say, here is an opportunity to book Corvid.
Well, I think we're playing Bristol Harbour Festival, which will be really exciting.
Yeah.
And then we do sort of gigs in Bath. We really, really believe in supporting younger bands as well.
Right.
And there's a nice kind of to and fro where we get bands on, and then they put us on as well. And I really like that comradeship between bands.
I was going to say, little kind of band communities work really, really well. There's a band that we work with a couple of times who do a club night down in Taunton, and they
nice, okay.
develop a whole scene based around that, which is great.
But it's hard to find anywhere to play live music. So if we don't do it, we're going to lose it. So it's really important to support each other and other musicians.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, okay, fine. Well, look, thank you very much indeed for playing for us tonight. We've had a fantastic show. Please do like and share this as much as you possibly can so we can get as much coverage for the show. Out the back, I'd like to thank both Phil and Maggie, who've been both responsible for the sound and the visual you've been seeing tonight. I've been Carl Sutterby. You have been watching Corvid on Soundcheck from Visual Radio Arts. The next show that we have is Sarah Yo, and that's on the 6th of March, so stay tuned.